What's up, everybody? Today we got a great recipe. I'm super excited about this one. Today we're gonna do tacos al pastor. We have a pork butt. We're gonna marinate it. We're gonna do something really cool. We're gonna hollow out a pineapple. We're gonna stuff it and we're gonna roast it on the open fire. It's gonna turn out. With this recipe, we're going with a boneless pork butt. We're gonna chop it up into little pieces. There's nothing fancy about the cutting technique. We are gonna leave all the fat that is on it. We're gonna leave it in there. That fat is going to render down when we cook it. What that means is it's gonna cook. It's gonna melt away when we cook it. It's gonna add a ton of flavor to the dish. Alright, so now we have our paste. It is a little bit smaller than where we started. A little bit of apple cider vinegar. Add that in there. We're gonna carefully stir this around. Just be careful with your achote, getting it on your clothes, getting it on your hands. It will stain. It will stain, and it is a little bit difficult to get off. Oranges. Beautiful Florida juicy oranges, very juicy oranges. So we're going to squeeze that in there. Let's go ahead and squeeze the other half. Not really sure we're going to need two now, but we'll see. Let's get this crushed up. Let's get it mixed up. Just going to add this to the pork. We're going to marinate that. Again, anytime we marinate, I'll tell people, if you have 24 hours, let's give it 24 hours. If you don't, at least an hour. If you can give it at least 1 hour, you're good to go. Now we're going to get our pineapple ready. What we're going to do, chop the top off. You want to leave, depending on the size of your pineapple, you want to leave, let's see, we're going to give this a good inch on the top. Cut it right down the middle. Well, slice it so that we have the top sliced off. We're going to get our knife. We're going to carefully hollow this pineapple out. What we'll do is we'll start. You don't want to cut like this. I am just doing this so that I can give you a better visual. You want to carefully just cut around the whole pineapple. I don't know if you can tell very well, but I am leaving, well, I started with about 1/4 of an inch. We're going to try to leave a little bit more. Let's go for like a 1/2 inch. We want some pineapple to stay in there. We want this to have a little bit of structure to it. We're going to stuff it with the pork. We're going to put our top back on, and we're going to roast this on the open fire. So we don't want it to fall apart. So let's cut. Now that we have our ring, what we want to do is we are going to cut this into quarters. Please be careful. Don't push your knife all the way through. Put it right down the middle. Very carefully. You don't want to damage your pineapple. But if you do, you can always go and buy another one. One thing that you can't go do, or one thing that you can't go buy, are these. So please be careful. So now we have our square. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt to cut these out. See, there's a couple chunks coming out. Very carefully. Again, don't chop your finger off. The last thing I want is somebody reaching out to me or commenting saying, hey, I cut my finger trying to do one of your recipes. Be careful. Now we're going to take a spoon. We're going to spoon the rest of this out. We're done with our pineapple. This is what you should be left with, empty pineapple. Alright, so we're getting ready to do our pork. We're going to cook that. Today I'm going to cook that on our Blackstone flat top. You can do this on a cast iron. You can do it in a saute pan. You can do it a couple different ways, but today we're going to use our Blackstone. Blackstone, if you're watching, I'm trying to get a sponsorship, so holler at your boy. But we're going to use the Blackstone. We got that getting nice and hot right now. We're going to go grab our pork. It's been marinating. Alright, now we're going to get ready to roast our veggies. We have a green pepper, red pepper, green onion, and we found these beautiful looking tomatillos. So a little bit of grapeseed oil all over your veggies. You're going to rub these down, throw them in the campfire, get a nice little char on those, and then we can start making our pineapple salsa. Onions are looking like they are good to come off, so we're going to take those off. Let our peppers keep roasting. Tomatillos will take a little bit longer, but alright, peppers, tomatillos, looks like they have a nice char on them. I don't know if you guys heard that, but they are talking to us. So let's take them off. Alright, so our pork is ready to go. We're going to stuff our pineapple. We're going to throw it on the fire. Now we're going to jump into our pineapple salsa. First thing we're going to get started with is we're going to give our cilantro a little rough chop. Next up, we're going to do, let's start on these peppers. We got a nice beautiful roast on them. We're going to cut the end caps off, get all the seeds out. We're going to chop these up. Alright, now we're going to cut up our tomatillos. We're going to do a small dice on these. Anytime that I do any kind of roasting, I like to keep the skin on whatever that vegetable is. There's some people that like to peel it off. I think it adds great flavor and texture to whatever dish you're making, salsa, whatever it may be. So we are leaving everything on these tomatillos. Alright, now we're going to get our green onions. We're going to chop these up. What we want to do with these is cut the ends off. But other than that, we're going to use every part of this green onion. Chop this up, add it to our salsa. After that, we're going to do our pineapple, which we got right here. This is the insides that we got for our stuffed pineapple that we did. So let's chop this up. Same as everything else. We want to cut everything pretty uniform. So we're doing a small dice for this. Alright, this is our last little bit of our pineapple. Just do a little bit of a chop on that. We are going to add it to our salsa. Last thing, lemon. We're going to use the juice of one whole lemon in here. Strain your seeds out. Alright, so I lied again about the last step. We have our Florida honey. I need to restock on before we leave Florida. And we're gonna do a little bit of salt. We have nice acidic, salty, sweet pineapple salsa. Gonna give this a little stir. Give it a try. Amazing. We're gonna do a little bit of Napa cabbage with our tacos. It's a very mild cabbage. It's got a nice sweetness to it. It is not bitter like your. Alright, well, last thing we got left to do is plate. We're gonna do our Napa cabbage. We're gonna throw that on our cutting board. Take this beautiful thing right here and take the top off. Get our pineapple salsa. Throw this right on top. Gonna get a lime. Cut this into quarters. Set one here, one there. Gonna get our tortillas. Set them around the table. And that's it. There you have it. Tacos al pastor stuffed into pineapple.